sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the buildup, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now on first down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Reuben Foster in there to sack him for a loss of 6. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the gun, it's Carr. And he's going to go down again.
Now, I know we're only 2 plays in, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, something has to change with the protection, and they can't wait to halftime to make an adjustment.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Carr. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners will go on offense. First and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Over the middle to Kittle. Complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And the Raiders have got him. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throwing on first down is Carr. They set up the screen to Martin. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Get down, get down. 185.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the trunk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. With the first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about it, Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to the best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 16. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Hey, gun. 13.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
They'll look to set up his blockers. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On first down, Carr. And he completes it to Jordy Nelson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. To throw on 3rd down, Carr. He completes it to Bryant. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Carr gives to Marshawn. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Throwing now is Carr. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The kick by Tavecchio is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he goes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Lynch. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Now they'll throw with Carr. They dump it off to Lynch. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Carr. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run once more with McKinnon. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Snap comes at 1. Garoppolo. And this one is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Operating from the gun, Carr. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Manuel. Steps away to his left.
Finding room at the 30, and he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Cooper's got it. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Manuel. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Forced out to his left. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And it's a fumble. And the Raiders have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Well, it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
Exactly. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it. But I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's a give to Lynch. Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. The Raiders on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Lynch, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. DeForest Buckner getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe after that drive, in that position, ball security paramount, they turned the ball over. Terrible.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here again is McKinnon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. A dump down to McKinnon. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo on 1st down. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And now just 3 seconds before the 2-minute warning, they're going to call a timeout here defensively. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
11.
Garoppolo now. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Time for a break. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now McKinnon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. They run it with McKinnon. And some room to work. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So in a game that's been full of twists and turns, here's another with time winding down.
And now, as you say, time's obviously a huge factor. But all you're looking for now is 3. So one big play, maybe a penalty, and you might get that shot after all.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10.
Go!
They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now a desperation throw deep. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And the San Francisco 49ers will hoist the Lombardi Trophy.